All right, here we go. The news and you, a proper perspective and thoughts for November 28th. Well, it has been a little while since I've done a news and you. I was feeling a little bit out of touch with the news, so I thought I'd do a scan this morning and see what jumped out at me. Vibe-cession. There was a number of articles on with titles like "What the heck is a vibe-cession? What does this mean? What are they talking about?" Basically, for the ones that would open for me that I didn't have to pay for, it was our finance minister, Christopher Freeland, saying that don't worry, um, the economy's doing great, everything's fine, it's just bad vibes. So to me, I thought, okay, don't worry, you're not broke, you're not running out of money at the end of the month. It's just bad vibes. You just think that things are bad. I, I don't like all the new, plank the curve, flatten the curve, something the curve, pivot, double downs. I think it's easier to use words we have. If we're just saying people are pessimistic, that they're feeling bad about things or not hopeful, I would use pessimistic. The article talked a little bit about uh, Mr. Freeland, Deputy Prime Minister Freeland, saying it's temporary versus permanent badness, basically. Well, use those words then. If it's actual something that's not good, even if it is fleeting or temporary, use that word. But a vibe makes it seem more just like a feeling. It's like saying you're not really depressed, you just feel depressed. It's just bad vibes. If I'm feeling depressed, aren't I depressed? Um, Prime Minister Trudeau, in the article, had said, Canadians are still feeling the bite of higher prices. Well, if I'm still feeling the bite of a dog who's biting me, am I not still being bitten? It's not just something in my head, it's actually happening. What can we do about this though? Well, if you're wondering, do I just feel this way? Is it really as bad as I think? Take stock of where you're at. What's your actual situation? Look at the numbers. If you say, wow, it just feels like I'm falling further and further behind every month, have a look at it. Are you still setting aside some savings? Are you still slowly making progress towards your goals? Yes or no? Maybe it is actually getting worse. And if you say, yeah, well, look, I've had to dip into my savings, or I'm not saving as much to make ends meet, then, look at the numbers. Think of positive as well as negative. Sometimes it is a lot of negative, but we can influence behaviors we can take by our outlook. We have to start by looking at those things. Take control where you have it. So if you're feeling worse about certain aspects or the economy, you can't control anything about that, perhaps, but what can you control? There's only maybe so much you can cut back on. Can you earn more? Can you save more? Can you reduce expenses? Can you increase your income? Look at what you can actually control. Anti-woke creeping in. So there was a few articles on, Walmart cutting back on initiatives they had started. There's lots in the news recently about all kinds of companies um, cutting back on what they're calling the woke initiatives. So to me, it was just the kind of the funny wording in the article title, because is it the anti-woke creeping in, or has the woke crept in to something that was already there and the other thing is still there? So if the woke, and I'm just using that term so we can differentiate, if the woke initiatives are new and the anti-woke was there to begin with, didn't wokeness creep in? Um, I'm sure, some will think that both of them are the resident evil, that we have to get rid of the anti wokeness that was there. And others will say, well, no, it's this new fad, this new trend, this new woke initiatives that we need to get rid of because, yeah, failed experiment, it's not working. Or, to quote everybody else, we have to double down and do even more of this. What can we do about that? Well, if you're a business, for businesses, individuals, families, what are your strategy, objectives, and tactics? What are you trying to accomplish? And what do you need to do to get there? And if it involves making changes to certain initiatives or certain ways you're doing things, one way or the other, then do it. If it's working for you to go left, go left. If you say, yeah, this is not working for me, I need to go right, or vice versa, make those changes. But start by looking at what are you trying to accomplish? And then for proper risk management, what are the risks to me not accomplishing that? What are the risks? What are the good things that are going to happen that I have to account for? And what are the bad things that I have to prepare for or prevent? Trump threats. There was a few on, is this more bark than bite? So you can see a kind of a Doug theme here. Some talk about how, the tariffs that Trump was threatening, that he's going to impose 25% tariffs on everything from Canada or Mexico unless we get action on border security. Well, is the threat really tariffs, or is the threat that we've been lax on border security? And then if we don't do something about it, there could be bigger problems. Is this just a wake-up call? Is just a way to draw attention? Now, whatever you think of Trump or the way he goes about things, what are your thoughts on the actual issue of border security? Forget the tariffs. That's just something that's tossed out there to draw attention to what they're saying the issue is of border security. And if it's immigration, legal or illegal, if it's drugs, if it's weapons, whatever that is, do we need tighter border security? What are your thoughts on that? Where do you stand? Thanks very much. Like and subscribe.